Hello, 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 hello. How's it going, people? Welcome to stream. Welcome, 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 welcome. Yes, I'm a bit late. I'm very sorry about that, but I literally got home just half an hour ago. Literally just half an hour ago. What has been? I have been out the whole day. Haven't been home at all, so barely actually managed to go live. But yeah, here we are. We are live. Let's talk. Let's talk. Burnley versus Arsenal on the schedule tomorrow. We are traveling, well, today, to be honest, to Turf Moor. We're going to face Brighton. The question is, can we keep winning? Can we keep winning? Can we keep more clean sheets? And on top of all that, what is going to happen with Martinelli? What is going to happen with William Saliba? Are there any new injuries? Anything? We potentially gonna dive into Mikel Arteta's super duper mix, Waffle House settings in his press conference, of course, and obviously we're gonna talk about the game, predicted 11s, and all that good stuff. So smash the like button if you haven't already, subscribe if you are new around here, and don't forget to leave your thoughts, of course, in the live chat. Big up, big up, big up. Big up Vigilante for the raid. Big up AK. Big up AK. Hope you're doing well. Big up Gavin. Big up Gavin. Big up Mubarak. While with Mosquera and Gabriel defensively, no problem. Hopefully, because if Saliba doesn't play, most likely Mosquera is going to be there, and he needs to play pretty much inch perfect. Let's be real. Big up Hendon. Big up Hendon. Hope you're doing well today. Burnley going to park the bus against negative Nellies. Arsenal. Can see another stinkfest of a match incoming. It could be that. Definitely could be that. They played like that against Liverpool, and it took them 90-plus minute penalty to basically even score a goal. Let's be real. So I expect that. Most of the small teams park, to be honest, most of the teams even, park against us the bus. They park the truck, their grandma, their aunt, their cousins, and secondary cousins, their pets, and everything in front of the goal just so they don't score. But obviously, we are the set piece FC, set piece again, ole ole. So hopefully that could be our solution as it has been so far. So hopefully maybe that is going to play some sort of a role. Maybe that's going to help us. Maybe, who knows? Let's just put it that way. But obviously, 3 points tomorrow is a must. 3 points is a must, no matter how you look at it. If we want to keep this going, if we want to keep the streak going and everything, we need a win tomorrow. We need a win. Maybe we can even pull away from our opponents as well. Maybe, just maybe, especially with the next weekend when City play against Liverpool, we definitely need a win overall. Big up my boss. Big up my boss. Hope you're doing well. What is new? We're gonna look at it. We're gonna definitely look at that. Normally, two negatives make a positive, but in this case of football, it just means double dose of negatives. Well, yeah, it might be a very ugly watch. I'm not gonna lie. It might be a very ugly watch. They're gonna park the bus and gonna try hit us on the counter. We will try to dominate possession and try to play slowly, methodically through their defense. And when we get a set piece, we're going to sing the set piece Ole Ole song and hope Gabriel hits in the corner. Let's just put it that way. But Declan Rice apparently is playing. Gabriel is playing. So maybe there is hope. Just maybe there is hope. Let's just put it that way. No matter how you look at it. But yeah, tomorrow it could be the stinkiest of stinkfests. Let's just put it that way. Big up Vigilante. Big up Vigilante. Thank you for the raid. Hope you're doing well. Great stream as well. The gamings and scary games and everything. Big up to you. Luton 2-0 up on Forest Green Rovers. What phase is Super Jackie Wilshere in? Who knows, to be honest? Who knows? We'll see. We'll see. Super Jack. Let's see. At least he cannot get injured on the sidelines. That is the good part in this, I guess. That definitely is the good part in all of this. But yeah, people, tomorrow, Arsenal are facing Brighton. Brighton, surely. Burnley, too many Bs in the Premier League, I'm not going to lie. But tomorrow, Arsenal are facing Burnley, and it's going to be a tough one. I expect it to be tough. I expect it to be ugly. And I'm not going to lie, I'm going to be honest with you, I expect it to be boring, as already Hendon said. It's going to be park the bus settings versus control slowpoke settings. So it might be the ugliest of ugly games. I'm not going to lie. I don't expect much from this game. Obviously, usually when you expect nothing from the game, then you see one of the most insane games you have ever seen to some extent. Let's just put it that way. But I don't know. I don't have big expectations besides Arsenal winning. For me, every game is one game at a time. Every game is like a final, and every game is a must-win game because at this stage, you cannot afford to drop points. Let's be real. If we want to actually make a statement and be actually some proper contenders, let's just put it that way, we need to win the remaining 2 games in the league and see what happens afterwards. On top of all that, it's Arsenal's league to win. It's not Arsenal's league to lose, obviously, yet, but it's 100 Arsenal's league to win because no other team looks like they can throw a challenge consistently, at least for now. Let's just put it that way, at least for now. So it will be very interesting to see how Arsenal develop and how our team and gameplay and everything develops going forward. So just put it that way. But yeah, I think we're going to go the strongest 11. We'll see how that goes. We're going to do the predicted 11 very soon. Well, in half an hour or so. Let's just put it that way, maybe in about 40 minutes. But yeah, I expect it to be a very, well, lackluster game. Another snooze fest that cures insomnia. Let's just put it that way. Need to prepare something already to do on the side so I just don't fall asleep while watching the game. That is my expectations from tomorrow. And I kid you not, I'm going to be honest with you because Burnley is going to, as I said, play defensively. Arsenal are going to play slow attack, so it will be very interesting. Very, very interesting. Some cracking games on Saturday at 3 p.m. Yes, they are. Yes, there are, because there are about 5-6 games tomorrow at 5 p.m. 3 p.m. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games tomorrow at 3 p.m. Obviously, Brighton play Leeds at Amex. Burnley plays Arsenal, of course, at Turf Moor. Palace plays Brentford at Selhurst Park. Fulham plays Wolves at Craven Cottage. Forest at Forest Park take on Manchester United, which is going to be very interesting. To be honest, tomorrow are very nuts games. Overall, tomorrow there are very insane games because Spurs play Chelsea. We'll see how that's going to go. And Liverpool play Aston Villa. A very struggling Liverpool are playing Aston Villa, who arguably slowly are picking up the pace because they had a very rough start of the season. It feels like they're kicking into gear. So it will be very, very interesting to see how that pans out because the game as well is at Anfield. So that is definitely going to say a lot. I'm not going to lie. 5 matches at 3 p.m., 1 at 5:30, and 1 at 8. Yeah, and some cracking games, yeah. I've captained Voltemade in my FPL as I expect him to score a lot against West Ham. Not bad. Not a bad option, 100%. I still need to do my FPL. But yeah, I'm looking at Voltemade as captain. I have Voltemade in my team. I'm looking him as a captain. The question is, who do City play? City play Bournemouth at Etihad. So yeah, not captaining Haaland might be the right choice for this weekend. I'm not going to lie. But overall, yeah. Some cracking games tomorrow. Will be interesting to see what is what and how everything happens, how everything develops. But of course, our main focus is on Burnley versus Arsenal. A repeatedly promoted side on the relegated side, who actually are looking somewhat decent. I'm not going to lie. Who are looking somewhat decent at the moment. Yes, they are not basically, I don't know, slaying mountains. Let's just put it that way. They are 16th, but they are 5 points above relegation, which is Nottingham Forest. So they are in this type of a role where it's very interesting. So far, they have very mixed results. I'm not going to lie. They mostly win or lose. They concede less than 2 goals per game on average, which definitely with Arsenal scoring less than 2 games on average, right? Means that this game has 1-0 somehow written all over it to some extent, the way I see it. It's going to be interesting how Arsenal are gonna deal with this because we have seen Arsenal playing against low blocks for a very long time, and it's been pretty dull and pretty embarrassing. Yes, we have beaten them quite a few times as well, but that is also due to set pieces, due to these type of situations. So for me, as much as people might hate to admit it, but set pieces is the key. Set pieces actually might be the key to this game because from open play, it's going to be rough. So open play, to some extent, is a very limited option for Arsenal, especially how we struggle to create in Premier League even from open play. So overall, I think the set pieces might be the answer. Set pieces might be the answer for tomorrow. Whether that comes to tuition or not, that is a completely different story, obviously. But of course, it might. And I think it will as well. Arsenal will get a few corners, and we'll see how that develops because the thing is, I'm kind of expecting already at some point for some teams to try to defend the set pieces Arsenal are creating properly. And I'm just waiting for that to happen. I know it sounds very bad since I'm saying this is an Arsenal fan, right? But we have about, 4 or 5 routines we do. And Yes, we changed them up, we switched them up, we'd play sometimes short and everything. But at some point, they will get defended. And I'm very interested to see when it's going to happen. Because most of the time, when our set piece routines, when our system, the plan A, the main plan, has been figured out, has been nullified, our set pieces have dried up. Most of the time, it has been because one of the small teams specifically have figured out how to beat us, how to counter that, how to defend that. Like it was against Porto. It was no, I'm not calling Porto a small team, but you get what I mean. It was like that against Everton. It was like that against Donetsk Shakhtar and teams like that. So it will be very interesting to see if it gets figured out by whom it's gonna be. And Burnley, I definitely would be one of those teams. I don't want to say I expect to do it, but I wouldn't be surprised if they did. Let's just put it that way. Big up Fusion is not jazz. Hope you're doing well today. Good morning to you. Well, good evening from my end. But people, I think we have done a nice little thing here. I think it's time. If you haven't already, get your maple syrup, get your hot cocoa, whiskey, bourbon, whatever you drink, take a cozy blanket, and prepare. Because it's that time once again of the Mickey Ross Waffle House settings. We're going to deep dive into Super Duper Mix press conference before the Turf Moor and before the game against Burnley away. Let's see what the Super Duper Mick had to say before this fantastically exciting clash we're going to play against Burnley. We are on an 8-game winning streak across all competitions, which is actually very impressive, I'm not gonna lie, especially defending and everything. No, I can't. I just can't. Well, we gonna. Hendon, brace yourself. And Mikel spoke about our form taking on Scott Parker's Burnley and more. Every word from the press conference. So, any new news? Sorry. No, Zichi. On any new injury news? No, I think we have the same ones. Martinelli is still out. So Martinelli is not playing whatsoever. Saliba, we have to wait and see. So Saliba is still a massive doubt. We have another training session this afternoon, and the rest are still getting closer, I think, in the right direction, but not available yet. So the usual suspects like Odegaard, Jesus, Havertz, those are out, obviously. Martinelli is out, as Mikel Arteta has confirmed. And William Saliba is under massive question mark, to say the least. On the timeline for Martinelli, we don't know yet, but I think this game is going to come too early for him. How you do not know? That's the big thing. You have had a whole goddamn week to do the tests, to do the scans, to do the medical situation and figure out what is what. You are just hiding information. On a timeline for Havertz, Madueke, Odegaard, and Jesus. I would say weeks, and some of them pretty soon. Hopefully, if they keep evolving, oh, here we go, we are a Pokemon once again, the way they are doing. It's difficult to put a game. You know that we have the international break, which is a 2-week break there, and after that, I think we'll have some back. I don't know if it's going to be all of them, some of them, but we'll be quite close by then. Wait, hold on. 2-week break. And after international break, I think we will have some back. So he thinks that we will have some players back after the international break. But he doesn't know if it's going to be all of them or just some of them. So how can you think that you will have some back, but if you don't know that some of them even is going to be back? It makes no sense. What the hell is this? On keeping the momentum going after 8 straight wins. Yeah, and maintain the level of urgency, the concentration, the focus, the ambition that we are showing every game. Every game brings different challenges. Sometimes we have to be very patient. Some other times we have a different approach. The game against Burnley is going to be very tough. They're extremely well coached. I know Scott Parker really well, and what he's done with the club and with this team, it's formidable. When you look at all the games that I see, five of the last games, they have played very, very tough team to beat. And to be honest, yeah, he's not wrong in those terms. Big up, Marlon. Hope you're doing well. But I think Arsenal had all abilities to distraction that Barcelona. You would think so. You definitely would think so, and no pun intended, no sarcasm intended, or nothing. And why the Arsenal posting that stuff, man? Damn, we're gonna get bad juju now. Well, Arsenal is Arsenal, so what did you expect? On how competitive this season is, more than ever. I think the level is increasing year after year. Like, I'm not a stickler, but I wouldn't say that the level is increasing year after year. Because if the level was increasing year after year, teams would be more even, and more teams would be going for the title. The top four race would not be decided would be by about 7 teams. Relegation teams would not be figured out by March or February even, right? So I definitely would put an argument against the fact that level is increasing. It's just some teams stand still while other teams, well, they stay the same or get a bit better. And usually the teams that get better are the teams that already were on top. So I'm not too sure about that one, Chief. Better structure, better organization, better decision making from clubs, managers, better players. So it tells you that the difficulty of that. When I look at the big teams, the way the promoted clubs have behaved and how they have earned points or lost points, it's from very small margins, guys. And that's the reality of this league. And if picking his team is the worst part of his job, well, no, I cannot say that. It is the worst part in terms of decision with certain players when you don't allow them to play, which is the hardest part in our job. But they acknowledge that as well as the anti-end, well, he waffles here. I just cannot. It's too late for me. I haven't been home all day, and I'm genuinely out of focus myself to read all that waffle. I'm not gonna lie. Oh, you're starting art next January. Big up to you. Big up to you. What kind of art, though? What kind of art? Like pastels, oils, or something? Like what are you gonna do? What are you going to study? Big up AFC always. Hope you are doing well, my bro. For me, have to keep going. Not can keep. You need to get as much points over City and Liverpool. Yeah, we need to get them and get them ASAP. Especially given that just next weekend, Liverpool play against City. And that is going to give us a chance one way or another. So picking as much points as possible at the moment is very pivotal already. Man, it ate 30 games in much less 20 guys went nowhere close. You're finishing the job. Can we never look down on any teams? Exactly. In this game, I expect Gyökeres to score. I'm not going to lie, and this is going to sound very, very bad as an Arsenal fan. But the game like this against Burnley would be one of those games where I don't expect Gyökeres to score at all, which is a very weird thing to say. But Gyökeres in these mid-low blocks, is just not it. He just doesn't fit it. He just doesn't fit that. Especially how they play defensively. I don't think so. If he scores, I'm going to be over the moon. If he scores, I'm going to be happy as the next guy. And you're also going to be happy. But like these type of games, I don't expect him to score. I expect him to score more against teams like Liverpool, like City, Spurs, Chelsea, the teams that actually attack, that open up. Because whenever with these mid-low blocks, Gyökeres struggles heavily, just like Arsenal in general, many times. And from open play, we are much more threatening and dangerous. And we have seen that also in Champions League. So we'll see. We'll see. I just can't. Yeah, I genuinely can't. I want to study electrical and business. Damn, you're going to be... Oh, you want to open your electric company? You want to open your own company? Potentially. In the future, obviously. Would be pretty damn nice. Would be fantastic. That's a nice way to go. And if he's calmer on the sideline, sometimes more than others, I think it's the years, the trust, the confidence that you have in the team as well, in the work that you do. You know, whenever I look on Arteta on the sidelines, he's always landing airplanes, like swatting away mosquitoes or doing the YMCA. I wouldn't say he is calmer on the sidelines. He is the same. I don't think he has changed at all in that regard. I'm not gonna lie. On if it's other managers, that can be the sport. On if every player is giving him something to think about. That's what you want to create. If you want to get to the best of all out of them, those standards have to be set in training. And if you don't have that in training, it's very difficult to replicate it during matches. So it's the balance between the competition and cooperation between the players, as well to understand their role on the day and what I have to do. But I love that spirit. Hey, hey. On Scott Parker calling our side a whale, old machine. I literally just corrected myself and corrected myself wrong. It says well-oiled machine, and I said whale-old machine. The fuck is happening with me? I think we are able to dominate a lot of aspects of the game. We can of course improve in many of them, like attack, which needs improvement desperately. And that's constant evolution as a team, but there are more resources and more things that we can dominate throughout the game, especially in the Premier League, the bare chance we have to win games. Yeah, true. That's really weird. He needs to adjust more to the Premier League defense and learn how to run and break through teams. Yeah, exactly. It's not weird. I just expect that. He needs to. Remember to do your fantasy football. Remember to do your FPL before tomorrow 1:30 p.m. So I'm most likely gonna do it tonight. That means basically. Remember when Isak just came and he wasn't balling another striker? So when you came from Portuguese league, you don't get proper defenders to make learn how to break. Yeah, exactly. So that's what I'm saying. I'm not expecting him to score tomorrow. That's what I'm saying. I'm not expecting him to score tomorrow. So Bendy is doing fine, surprisingly. Relatively fine. He hasn't been great, but he hasn't been bad. He's been decent. But nothing spectacular, as many Arsenal fans on social media were boasting about during the summer. Let's just put it that way. On the number of fixtures in a season, every decision that we make in terms of a fixture has to be guided by two main things, I think. Players' welfare and then supporters. Oh, you need players' welfare now into play. But when you play players with broken toes, with injuries, then the player welfare goes out the window, right? Then the player window goes out the window. Big up, Sheldon. Don't expect you online today. To be honest, I had my doubts myself. I went live 7 minutes past 8 p.m. I got home 30 minutes before 8, like half an hour before 8. So yeah, I hadn't been home all day. So basically, I had my doubts myself. I'm not gonna lie. Let's just put it that way. But yeah, that's it. And the rest how they come very, very far from that, away from that. And we should never forget that principle. That's the only thing I will say. On if teams will pull out of competitions in the future, I hope we don't. If we have that big piece of paper with those two principles there in front of before we make any decision, all of us in our industry, we won't get there. If we don't and just ignore that, then anything is possible. Well, it is what it is. If this is a good opportunity to win trophies, it's a big opportunity that we have ahead of us. But we have to continue with that level of consistency, and we know how difficult that is. Tomorrow is going to be an extremely tough match. I expect that, to be honest myself, for us, and we are going to have to hit those performance levels to win the game. Fact. On managing the expectations of our academy players, which has been one of the hot topics for the last half a year at least. When you're delivering good news, it's so easy and it's so wonderful, and you get an incredible reaction, but we have to be prepared in our job to give other kids of news and messages sometimes. It's for the best for the team and maybe not for the best for the individual. But you never know, because some decisions that at the time you think are not good for you, they become the best decisions for your career. And I've experienced that myself. So take them, make the most out of them, and see what happens. On players calling Emirates Stadium our house. That's the way I feel it. Hopefully the way they feel it as well. But to use that language, you really have to feel it. Well, you have to earn it as well, to be honest. You have to feel that our house, but the level. Okay. On going away from home. We go to a different territory. Obviously, we use different language for that, but at the end, the purpose and what we want to achieve in the game is very similar. But the context changes because we are in a different situation. The context, of course, how we can forget about the context. On if players could go on strike because of the fixture schedule, would not be surprised. Hopefully not. If we look after the players' welfare and our supporters, I think we are never going to get to that point. That's it. We have to close the window there. We cannot open that window. It has to be closed. It's our most precious value. We have the best league in the world, debatable. And we cannot just open any window for anything just to lose that because we don't respect that. And we forget that we are made of. And what makes this, I'm losing my thread of thought as I'm reading this. On hoping Noni, Kai, and Martin back for the North London Derby. I'm excited because they are tremendous players. I see them work every single day, how desperate they are to be part of the team. The huge boost that is going to be for the squad to have those players available again after such a long time. I'm really happy that I think it's going to be very, very, very soon. On the impact of academy players performing well has on the dressing room. Absolutely, and especially when we talk about the players that are starting their careers, because we all have been there. That's something that I discuss with the players and make sure that when Anush thinks about this day, he knows the exact date, the team, the hour, who played next to, and what actually happened that day. The other fact is that because you're playing the cup, you are in or you are out. If we want to win every trophy and want to be there, we have to be ruthless in every competition. In order to achieve that, we are going to need every player. In order to do that, you have to be at your best. We have a lot of players that play very few minutes, but on a minute 3, Kepa made the save. Kepa made that save because every day he trains like a beast, and it's not a coincidence. On sustaining the size of the squad, I've been part of that. When I was here at Arsenal, we had an incredible squad. When I was at Manchester City, you could pick 2 or 3 players per position. If you want to go to Chelsea or Liverpool when they are winning, they all have it. We don't do anything special. And thank God we have it because we have 5 or 6 players out, big players out, and we are having to use other kinds of solutions as well. And the team remains competitive. Nice. On if there's solution to the fixture congestion, no, probably it's not easy. Well, there is. Cancel the fixtures, international ones. But it has to be doable because if we put something that is not feasible, then what are we doing? So it's doable for sure. So let's do it in the best possible manner, respecting players and supporters. This waffle is turning my brain into mush. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, definitely. We have a top 3, if not top defense in the world. But in terms of peak attack to deliver numbers and bags of goals, we are definitely. Palace play Arsenal in Carabao Cup on Tuesday before they play in the European Conference League on Thursday after Glasner is fuming 4 games in 8 days. Maybe something will be done there. Who knows? But I'm not. Glasner definitely is fuming about that. 100%. Big up, Caps. Hope you're doing well. We don't have a serious attack. That's one problem. Our players don't have the room to do anything allure. Attackers are basically secondary defenders, not goal scorers. Yeah, basically, that's what it is. Our goal output is the worst in all teams, mid-table teams. We have players putting up 20, 30 GA, and we don't have that. Our players don't have the room to do that. We just pass to Saka and set piece. Yeah. We have 17th best attack from open play. Overall, if you include all the goals we have scored in Premier League, we are a top 3, top 4 side, right? No, 5th. We are top 5 side. If we exclude set-piece goals, we are a relegation team in all aspects. Open play goals, open play XG, and open play chances created and all this stuff. It's actually kind of insane if you look at it like that. On when he thinks the title race starts. For me, is the first day of preseason, trying to prepare the team and individuals in the best possible way and go game by game because it's going to be long. Holy crap. It's going to be long. On if he encourages players to talk about winning the Premier League. Interesting. We have to focus on the journey. Hey, not the destination, but the journey, yeah? And what we have to do every single day. Fixing the outcome, of course, we want to win it. And the preparation is towards that. Great. And we have set all the protocols, processes, ambitions, and everything. Now you have to focus on what you have to do. If not, you get distracted with the rest and don't want any of that around my team. On trying to go one step further in the Premier League, well, that's the only way to go one step forward in Premier League is to win it, obviously. At the end, you learn that the margins to achieve it or not are many. It can be that an opposition player is one-on-one against the keeper and he scored a goal. You are the champion. The other keeper saves it. You are not the champion. It can be injuries. Here we go, injury narrative. It can be decisions. It can be a mistake. Referees, PGMOL. Or, well, you have shit strikers before you sign Gyökeres and you still don't know how to use Gyökeres. There can be so many factors that we cannot control. What we can control is what we can do best. Well, you can control injuries to some extent, and we haven't done that, to be honest. And that's about it. I'm done with the Waffle House at the moment. I'm done with the Waffle House at the moment. So, people, what we're saying about super duper mix waffle sessions? Happy, disappointed, annoyed, pissed off? One of those. Waffledon was having a go at Gyökeres for not scoring enough, but failing to realize that Gyökeres is getting no real service as an attacker should. It's both. For me, it's both. Yeah, Gyökeres is not getting service, which is one part of the problem. The other problem is that he's not scoring. Like, that's the thing. This team is built for a striker that is not a striker, which sounds very weird to say, but the way we are playing, the style, the system, the team, how it's built for a player like Firmino, player like Alvarez, player like David Villa to some extent as well. Players like that who can be number 10s and number 9s to a high level at the same time. Unfortunately, we have a number 9 who is out and out number 9 in Gyökeres, which means the number 10 abilities. He has none of those. And we have Havertz, who has some of the number 10 abilities, but his number 9 abilities are worse than Marwan Shamach. So that goes from that point of view. See, simply, if you look at the Prem open play goals, we are at the bottom of the league. Yeah, we are 20th. That's very bad. Set piece doesn't always bring goals. Well, they do. Arsenal have proven that. If we don't have set piece goals, we would be 5th in the league. Or something like that, something weird like that. I don't know. I don't remember the stats and everything, right? But ultimately, set pieces are part of the game. You score them, okay, cool. You don't, okay, cool. But to put such an emphasis on it, it is a bit worrying. Let's just put it that way, because they are not going to work always. So far, they have worked like a charm, but the last year they also worked like a charm until it finished. It dried up. So we need to figure out the open play situations, how to do those. I wouldn't say we don't have the hunger to attack every team's defense, no matter how hard it is to break. But I think the way we are playing, it's not for the way we should be playing. The majority of teams in Premier League are just looking to survive in the Premier League, and hence the more cautious approach of the style of play. Yeah, exactly. They are looking to survive, which also is a weird one, because if you're just looking to survive, you kind of should be realizing that against Arsenal, you kind of have no chances to some extent, right? So you might as well go guns blazing, right? At the same time, teams know that we struggle against mid-low blocks. So if that's their best chance to beat us, because if they go in open play against us, they're going to get spammed, right? With the mid-low blocks trying to hit us on counters, that's their best option to try even to do anything against us. We give up matches easy. Well, we don't. I don't have enough syrup to stomach that amount of waffle. Well, same, to be honest. Gyökeres ain't getting enough chances. He's yeah, exactly. Gyökeres isn't getting too many chances. At the same time, he could be doing more. Then again, you don't see pretty much no number 9 in the world tracking back like an Olympic sprinter, do you? And wasting half of his energy defending. Like, that is another thing. How come you score when you don't get... Wait. How can you? Obviously, you don't. But you also should be able to create something for yourself. And obviously, Gyökeres cannot do that in tight spaces. Hence why I said during the day before, about 15 minutes ago, that unfortunately, I also can see Gyökeres not scoring again tomorrow. It's like trying to shoot a target, but you're not given ammunition. Yeah, exactly. I know what you mean, but I maybe didn't elaborate myself enough to make the point clear. I'll just put it that way. Like, you also should have some ability to do that, and obviously we signed Gyökeres, and we knew that unless it's an open play, we don't play to Gyökeres' strength. So Gyökeres also cannot create for himself from those type of situations, because the way Gyökeres scored against Leeds in that open play with that one long ball and creating for himself, that's what Gyökeres thrives on. And unfortunately, we don't play like that, and the teams don't play against us like that to give Gyökeres any space and any ability to do so. So yeah, Gyökeres is basically tied from both ends. Let's just put it that way. Gyökeres doesn't get enough chances, but can do more, like the goal versus Leeds. He created it by himself. Yeah, but Daniel Fark doesn't park the bus as much. He plays more attacking football. But if you look at the other teams we play, you know, your Burnleys and even West Ham's and Everton's, even Palace against us. They didn't park the bus. They played mid-low block and they hit us on counters. So it's a double-edged sword. Let's just put it that way. And unfortunately, it's hurting us from both ends. Unfortunately, it's not like one edge of the blade is dull. They both are sharp as hell. Imagine trying to get past from a guy when running into the box and he's so slow and get marked and you lose the space to score. Yeah, that's true. That's true. But Gyökeres should be whipping them from 20 yards out without waiting on anyone like Suarez and Leva did. Yeah, but Gyökeres also doesn't get enough space to do that. Let's just put it that way. I see Kane tracking back, going from D, but this brick has no excuse. The thing is, Kane has something Gyökeres, what it feels like, never will have. Kane has playmaking abilities. He has better touch than Gyökeres' first touch. And he has passing abilities. The prime example was Son and Kane combinations, how they played. And Gyökeres has 2 bricks for legs in terms of passing, unfortunately, in those terms. But if you don't get the ball, how can you make chance? Exactly. That is the thing. Even when Gyökeres gets the scraps, right? He cannot create for himself. He instantly passes it off because every single chance for him to create for himself has been shut down by defense. Or when he gets the scraps, when he gets that random ball, it's usually in a very disadvantageous position. Like, for me, that it goes both ways. It's not just one side of things. You need to look at both sides of the coin, in my opinion. If Gyökeres shoots from deep and runs with the ball into the box and shoot, definitely will, but doing that, it's not great. He cannot do that. We don't have a chance to do that. Against low blocks, Jesus is our best option because he can go past 2 or 3 players. Yeah, but he's injured all the time, so we can dream about it. You genuinely can only dream about it. Wait a minute. Now that I remembering Gyökeres played left wing. Yeah, he did. Gyökeres likes playing from the left. Gyökeres likes playing from the left, yeah, and cutting inside and all this stuff 100%. Ekitike would have been perfect signing for us. Maybe. In the Fulham match, Calafiori was in more attacking positions than Gyökeres, who was tracking back most of the time. Yeah, it's crazy. It's like it's backwards. It is backwards. For Calafiori, defending is the secondary thing. He has more freedom and more chances to go forward. For Gyökeres, somehow it feels like for him attacking is a secondary option. He's more important for the press and tracking back. It sometimes feels that way. What if Gyökeres could cut in from the left side like Mbappe and attack from there? It would be great, but it also works mostly in open spaces because Gyökeres doesn't have the technical ability to such a level that he can do it in tight spaces. He needs openings. The mere mention of Jesus makes me want to barf. Well, he's going to be back in a month or so. In a month or month and a half, so wait for him. He's going to rise again. If Arteta's phone. Well, that's the thing with Arteta. It's the nuts thing. This team has been built in a way that it suits Jesus. It suits Havertz to many extents, but it doesn't suit Gyökeres. And with Gyökeres' signing, I expected and hoped that Mikel Arteta would change it, but it's very evident that he hasn't, unfortunately. And Jesus still picking up 265 a week. Yeah, as he recovers. Yeah, he's just chilling, massaging his thigh and getting 265 a week. It's insane, to be honest. 265 a week. I agree, hard to recreate the system's consistent base. Exactly. You got to learn somehow it's English Premier League. That's the thing. He's played in Championship. He should know that, but in Championship, it's also a bit different. Yeah, that's the thing. We have sort of a false nine system. That's what I said. That's why I said that this team is kind of built for players like Alvarez, Firmino, David Villa, players like that who can play that false nine system with a good passing, good ball distribution abilities, and have also finishing at the high level. Gyökeres has the higher finishing ability, but the distribution to create those spaces for him to drag defenders out of position and then, let's just say, in quick triangles to run into those open spaces. He doesn't have that to that high of a level. Havertz, on the other hand, he excels at that compared to Gyökeres, obviously, to passing it off to open spaces and to running the triangles. The thing is, he doesn't excel at finishing those chances. So it's a win-win and a lose-lose at the same time. Whenever it doesn't matter which one you play. We saw that last year quite big time. Do you think we'll ever see Gyökeres and Jesus play together in the future? Yeah, I think so. But mostly because, well, not because we're going to play like 4-4-2 with two strikers, but I kind of can see Jesus playing as a left winger. That's why, mostly than anything, because he has the technical ability, and he's right-footed, so he can cut in. We have garbage as striker. Jesus always injured and doesn't care. Havertz shot shy. Gyökeres. Well, Gyökeres is just not there yet. Hopefully he gets better. Arteta said, give Havertz 55 games to judge him. Well, let's give Gyökeres 55 games before he judge him. The thing is, it's starting to get worrying, and on top of that, we don't have 55 goddamn fucking games to judge Gyökeres. You win now or you F off at the end of the day. That is the biggest thing. The time is the biggest pressure for us at the moment. Well, not for us, for Arteta and Arsenal. That's the thing. We don't have time. Imagine Alvarez at Arsenal. Oh, bloody hell. I would love that. I would love that. Big up, Godfrey. Big up. Hope Friday is treating you well. Jesus left wing. Jesus has played left wing as well. Not just for Arsenal, but for City as well. But doesn't matter which doesn't matter which wing as well, to be honest. Jesus' best positions have been the wings. Also for Man City to some extent. That Jesus' best position. I would say left wing, right wing. I'm not giving these trash 55 games, they're trash all. Well, Gyökeres just needs to adapt more. Like, also, he just needs to adapt more. How much he can adapt more? How much this adapt thing is also going to be used as an excuse to some extent. Because he has played in Premier League. He has played in Championship. With Gyökeres, it's a bit different. It's not like he's a nobody. He is someone. In last 2 seasons as well, yes, he played in different place. But he also bagged 100-plus goals in 2 seasons. So the adaptation period, per se, would be expected to be less. But that also depends on, well, if Mikel Arteta helps him with the system and the style, and he obviously doesn't. Let's just put it that way. Big up, Claire. Big up, Claire. Resident Hearts fan, resident Olise fan, big Olise fan. Big up for the super sticker. Much appreciate that. Hope you're doing well today. Hope Friday has treated you well and you're feeling great. Big up to you every single time. What is this Gyökeres hate? Well, he's not scoring. That's the biggest thing, and I think people are getting frustrated with that, and I am as well. And for me, I said this before the October international break ended, that if by the November international break, Gyökeres is going to be on like 4 or 5 goals only out of the 11 games. God forbid on the same amount of goals he was when we went into October international break. We will have some uncomfortable discussions overall about him on one of the streams. We will have a separate stream during November international break regarding Gyökeres alone, without shadow of a doubt. And for that stream, I will try my best to get some people as well, like BBK, maybe Views, maybe also Dr. Seymour, someone like that. I'm gonna try and get just to discuss this, because for me it's not just Gyökeres alone. It's like a combination of multiple instances happening at once, unfortunately, and one is kind of amplifying the next one, which cumulatively has made it very, very painful and very rough situation for Gyökeres and the situation how fans see Gyökeres at the moment. Because people are already calling for Havertz to start and Gyökeres getting dropped. People are saying that we should not have signed Gyökeres, but should have signed Sesko instead, and all this stuff. The twerking fans doing for Gyökeres is baffling. They hated Havertz from the go, but now it's give Gyökeres time. Like, it is like that. Obviously, at the end of the day, this is a results-based sport, and results are trophies. So if at the end of the day you don't win trophies, you look at the players, you look at the manager, you see what is wrong, and you talk about it. And if push comes to shove, somebody gets, yanked out of the club and sold or sacked. Big up, quick high while I hide from everyone. Big up to you. Really appreciate that. As soon as he sees the defenders' game and how they defend and their style of defense in this league on Özil and Okocha, they will start banging goals. Well, the thing is, Gyökeres came in as an established striker. Including myself, I said that Gyökeres is a win-now striker, which means that he should be bagging goals. I expected Gyökeres to score 20 or so goals in Premier League, 30 goals in all competitions. And Gyökeres, everyone said this last year, and everyone said it also this summer, that a proper striker should be the final piece. But it's very evident that it's not. And that is not on Gyökeres alone. It is partially on Gyökeres, but it's also on Mikel Arteta. Because the best way how we could unlock Gyökeres right now, in my opinion, is switching the system and playing the style of football we were playing in 22-23 season. Because I think in that formation, in that style, in those movements, Gyökeres would feel like fish in the water, like pig in a fan. Like big, you get what I mean, basically. At the moment, we are winning games, but when we don't win and Gyökeres doesn't score, the pressure will mount up. Exactly. Look at this. We are winning games, and Gyökeres is getting massive stick from part of the fan base already. Imagine if we draw or lose the game, and Gyökeres doesn't score, and he barely gets a shot on target. Can you imagine how much that is going to be amplified then? We move the ball so slow sometimes that the opposition defense is set by the time we get into the... Yeah, exactly. Especially on counters when we start to passing backwards because we have no outlets because everyone's at the back defending. I'll be real, even if it was Sesko, he would be in the same situation. Yeah. This football is way too robotic, pragmatic, slow, and very predictable. And it doesn't cater and out-and-out number 9, basically. You got to shake that ass faster to get some pump while you're at it. Shake that ass for me. Shake that ass for me. Okay, pause and all that. But yeah, Havertz was no striker and people started acting like he was big striker. Yeah, that is also true. He was signed as a midfielder in the first place. That's why Gyökeres didn't get the Arteta love child treatment. He didn't. Yeah, but Arteta, everyone knows that Arteta wanted what's its face. Sesko. Big up Gianni Talks Culture. Big up Gianni. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing well today on this beautiful Friday. Go subscribe, people, to Gianni Talks Culture as well. And all that good stuff. But yeah, people, starting 11 for tomorrow. Let's take a side note from Gyökeres. We need to get out of that talk because we can generally talk about it for hours. Starting 11 for tomorrow. What are we expecting? I think it's very, very predictable what we're going to have in the starting 11 to a certain extent. right? There will be some positions that are gonna be questioned without shadow of a doubt. Well, this is kind of obvious, isn't it? This is really obvious, isn't it? How this 11 is gonna go. The thing is, Saliba, I wouldn't risk him. We should not need Saliba to beat Burnley, by the way. So if there's a possibility that he might get worse, we wouldn't risk him, right? The left wing is the only question mark. Obviously, the straightforward answer is Trossard, without shadow of a doubt. But would anyone entertain, let's just say, Eze on the left, Dauman in the 10, Eze on the left, Wangieri in the 10, or something like that? For me, that is the question. Would anyone entertain that? Kepa in goal, I've seen enough. Relax. It's just one game. Don't be a top gooner and all this stuff. Yeah, people. Go subscribe Johnny Talks Culture, people. Go subscribe Johnny Talks Culture. Here is his channel. Saliba might be injured. He's still injured. He was injured for Brighton game. He's still injured, apparently. He's a doubt. He's not injured. He's a doubt. But with Mikel Arteta, you obviously, well, you don't know at the end of the day. He gives Raya, Timber, Calafiori, Mosquera, Gabriel, Saka, Merino. Saka, Merino, you're not starting Zubimendi? Interesting. Trossard left wing. Nah, Zubimendi is not a doubt. He's fine. Zubimendi is all fine and dandy. Zubimendi, there are no issues. When Yeri Tseneze left wing would work. I'm thinking about that. I'm definitely thinking about that. I'm trolling about Raya. He's undisputed number one. Well, as long as you don't say we should recall like Karl Hein and put him in goal, I'm fine. No, Nieri, no, Dauman, 1-2 reckless, the other 2 young. This is a serious game, hence why I'm just genuinely just spitballing here ideas out of this. Zubimendi was in training today, all fine, all happy, no worries. Zubimendi is all fine. I just checked it. Zubimendi is all fine. He is fine and dandy, fit, and no issues. Oh, I assume he's fit given he was on the bench against Brighton. No, he is fit. Apparently he's all good. He was on the bench for Brighton from the training images that are on Arsenal's website, on social media. He looks very happy, very chilled, very excited to train, so he might be fine. Burnley too strong arm for the likes of the. That's the thing. For me, that is the biggest worry. We have to play an experienced team, first things first. But second of all, that Zubimendi in the midfield against physical Burnley side could be a bit of an issue. I'm not gonna lie. Zubimendi as their right midfield. Okay. Ryan goal. Okay. Defense. Hinkapia is not playing left back. Don't even dream about it. Mosquera, Timber. Don't want to risk Big Gabby. We're going to play Gabriel. If Saliba is not playing against Burnley, we need one of the cornerstones at the back, in center back positions. And if Saliba is a doubt, 100% Gabriel is starting. And if Gabriel doesn't start, we need a set piece person up there, so he should be starting. Trossard will start though. You know Arteta, yeah. Yep. The world is changing in such fun and interesting ways right now. To be honest, based on yesterday, I would not say so per se. Would not say so per se, because yesterday, right? Let me ask you this. I hate talking about politics, first of all, but I'm going to ask you all this. Anyone know what an Istanbul Convention is? Does anyone know? Just curious out of nowhere. Istanbul Convention, anyone knows what that is? I haven't watched Burnley this season. Oh, they're good defensively. They're very tough to beat, especially at Turf Moor. I can see Merino and Trossard starting as Arteta has one eye on Prague on Tuesday. Zubimendi cannot play against Slavia Prague because he has picked up too many yellows. So Zubimendi either plays tomorrow or he doesn't play for basically till next weekend. I think Zubimendi is gonna play. Man said, drop your location, you know. Damn. I think this season Josh have been giving starting bet, not really. Sorry. I see. Zubi will play 90 as he won't play Champions League. Exactly. Exactly. That's my point. Hey, yo. Don't do these things. Do not do these things. Basically, how to describe this? For Hendon, right? This is for Hendon, right? It's how did where is it? Istanbul Convention basically is human rights treaty of the Council of Europe opposing violence against women and domestic violence, which was opened for signature on May 2011. The convention aims at prevention of violence, victim protection, and to end the impunity of perpetrators. Basically, that's what Istanbul Convention is, right? Ironically enough, right? Exactly. Right? The thing is, ironically enough, Turkey is not in it, right? So it's kind of nuts one, but it is what it is, since they're not in EU and European Union and everything. But the thing is, yesterday, my government, right, voted that we are gonna resign and they denounce the Istanbul Convention. And if if my country's president signs it and confirms it, we gonna be the first country in Europe to denounce it, basically, as a thing. I don't know, it's such a weird thing. It's not a good thing. People say it's a good thing, it's a bad thing. I'm not getting into politics at all because I could not be asked. Everyone lies there. Everyone basically is there in for themselves, and it's a nuts one. I'm not gonna lie, but people are really displeased. Like, also the nation, right, is very split on this as far as I can tell, because some are very happy and the other part is very pissed off about it. I don't know where it's gonna lead per se at the moment, but we have to wait till, well, basically my country's president's final decision on it, whether he accepts it or he denies it, because he also has that ability. The thing is, though, if he denies it, they need to re-vote, and I don't see the vote changing, which means it will go to the people. There's gonna be voting and everything, and I have no idea how my country is gonna vote. It's gonna be a 50-50 vote, obviously. It's yes or no at the end of the day. But I'm very confused about this. What the hell is happening at the moment? I don't get too much into politics and everything because I follow it like vaguely, so I just know what's the deal. But yeah, there were protests. There were protests 2 days ago before the vote, right? And about 5,000 people rocked up at the government main building to protest against it, right? And yesterday, the government had a 13-hour meeting for the vote, basically presenting their points and all this crap. And you obviously know there is the good side and the bad side of the government and all this stuff. It's insane. I don't know where it's gonna go, but yeah, it has caused a massive stir in the populace at the end of the day. Yeah, people, be respectful, please. Be respectful. Big up, Darren. Hope you're doing well today, my bro. Basically, that's what it is, Hendon. That's what it is, Hendon. 16 likes, nice. Can we push it up to 20 if it's possible? Can we push it up to 20? Would be kind of amazing, I'm not gonna lie. Would be fantastic. Would be over the moon with that, to be honest. But yeah. We'll see. But yeah. Anyways, back to Arsenal, back to all this stuff, because I cannot be asked to talk about politics at the end of the day. But yeah, predictions. What are your predictions for the game and final score? Let me know in the chat. What are your predictions for the Burnley game? Tomorrow, 3 p.m. UK kickoff and everything. Do you think Arsenal are going to win comfortably? Will they win at all, to be honest? Or we are in for a major upset? Because so far the upsets, I don't think it's going to come personally. Let's see what you think. Because Arsenal have, on average, score less than 2 goals per game. And also, what's its face? Burnley concede less than, on average, less than 2 goals per game. Which, yeah, it's very interesting how that's gonna basically balance each other out. Sheldon is saying 2-0 Arsenal, I assume. Godfrey has changed alliances and he has become top gunner. He's saying 5-0 Arsenal. I'm not gonna lie, like that sounds like a mad score. If we do that, holy crap. Wow, Forest Green Rovers comeback from 3-0 down to 3-3. Holy crap. 3-3 with 9 minutes to go as well. That's an FA Cup, by the way. That's not like Carabao Cup or anything. It's FA Cup. What are the lineups? Healy, Lundvik, Mengi, Naismith, Bramals, Saville, Walsh, Richards, Dabo, Jones, Wells. I'm not gonna lie. Luton should be winning this comfortably. Just saying. Luton should be winning this comfortably. Burnley 1-0. We're gonna lose 1-0. Okay. Dio is going 3-0. It was said 10-0. Holy crap. 3-0. Standard prediction for all games this season. I see. You have to be known to be a top gunner. Okay. Personally, I cannot decide between 1-0 and 2-0. It's one or the other. Mostly because Arsenal score less than 2 goals per game on average. Also, Burnley concede less than 2 goals per game on average, right? On top of that, the game is not at Emirates. It's at Turf Moor, which is going to make it tougher. So, well, obviously, Saliba is out. Gyökeres cannot hit barn door. He gets no chances to even hit the barn door. He's whiffing there all the time. So, I'm kind of stuck between 1-0 and 2-0. I cannot decide. I'm very torn for this. Fusion is not Jazz, says 1-0. Well, I assume Arsenal. Godfrey, don't become an SA version of me. You never know. You never know. As Mikel Arteta says, Godfrey might evolve. Godfrey is evolving, you know. It's small margins at the moment, but Godfrey is evolving. If we apply the right context, he might become a top gunner. But yeah, I'm torn between 1-0 and 2-0. I'm gonna go standard 2-0 Arsenal. I'm gonna go standard 2-0 Arsenal, personally. Yeah, 2-0. I just had a second thought for a second. We are making winning scorelines, but who is gonna score, lol? Exactly. I'm more curious for Godfrey. He said 5-0. Who the hell is gonna score 5 goals? Who the hell is going to score those 5 goals for Arsenal? I'm very curious about that, personally. But yeah, who is gonna score? Well, I said 2-0, right? I think that Saka is gonna score one, and Eze is going to score one. I think Saka and Eze, one of those two are gonna score. Fusion says 1-0 by Saka. I see. I said 2-0 for me. It's Saka and Eze. I think. Like that for I go with that. I am going with that personally at the moment. But yeah, predicting a scorer for Arsenal, well, it's kind of straightforward. You usually say it's Gabriel or Saka, right? One or the other. Sometimes it's Calafiori, Timber, or Rice. If you're lucky, it's Zubimendi or Eze. Just being different. I just really want to see performance tomorrow. Exactly. That's wishful thinking, That's very wishful thinking. We've seen this team turn it up unexpectedly, to be fair. So, yeah, that's my prediction. Okay, Godfrey. For you, who is going to score the 5 goals? Just your 5 goal scorers. Who's going to score the 5 goals for Arsenal? Because Fusion is saying Saka is going to score. I said that Saka and Eze are going to score because I said 2-0. You say 5-0. Who is going to score the 5 goals? Just curious, just genuine curiosity. Miguel's not a top gooner, he's just a gooner. It's not looking great, is it, boys? It's not looking great. Anything else? Oh. Holy crap. Anyways, I'm going to show you this. Oi, no, not save image, open image in your tab. I'm going to show you this because this is kind of interesting. Whoa. I don't know why people bother with the Opta analyst, Opta supercomputer, and all this crap. But just for the sake of sheer entertainment, right? Sheer entertainment. They're saying that our Opta supercomputer is saying that Arsenal are going to win the league with 80 points. Man City and Liverpool are going to be second and third, but on 69 points. And then Chelsea and Villa are going to deal with the 4th and 5th on 60 points. Let's just put it that way. I'm not gonna lie. Not that too enthusiastic. Let's just put it that way. Not too enthusiastic about that one, Chief. But yeah. I say 2-0. The chat is very split. 1-0, 2-0, 5-0, 3-0. People are suggesting Arsenal are gonna win. And why wouldn't you? So 8 games in a row we have won in all competitions. Well, I think we're gonna go for 9. A game against Burnley is a must-win game, no matter how you look at it. It's gonna be tough. Most likely it's gonna be boring, but I think Arsenal are gonna do it. 2-0. But yeah, people. I think on that note, we have covered it all. We have had some laughs, some discussions, some serious, some less serious, and everything. And I think I'm gonna end the stream today because I'm absolutely knackered and I want to go to bed. I'm not gonna lie. So big up, people. Thank you so much for being here. Like the stream, subscribe if you're new. Big up Sheldon, big up Godfrey, big up Fusion, big up everyone, Darren, Hendon, Marlon, big up everyone who joined, who commented, who tweeted. Big up Claire for the super sticker. Hope everyone will have a great evening. Hopefully Arsenal don't disappoint us. Hopefully we have a great day tomorrow as well with Arsenal win. And hopefully I'm going to see you tomorrow evening with the Arsenal match reaction stream. Peace.